All right, y'all, come on in. Today we're going to be reviewing and learning from this Boudoir Facebook ad. Seeing what we're doing good that's giving us good results, seeing what we're doing bad that's giving us bad results. And yeah, we're going to be going through my normal, kind of 10-step top 10 mistake framework that I'm seeing a ton of boudoir photographers kind of making the same top 10 mistakes, cause them to get less clients, less bookings, more ghosting, more low quality clients, more price hunters. And we can see here, I've actually taken some other boudoir Facebook ads and kind of tested them on my own and then fixed the mistakes, found the mistakes, fixed them up, retested them, and kind of on average was able to 2 to 4x the amount of women coming through, reading the ad copy, becoming pre-qualified. All this with the same ad spend, really just from fixing, not even all the mistakes. I would only fix like half of them. But, fixing all these small mistakes really adds up. And what we really focus on here is this first unique CTRL. This is like our most important leading metric. This is what is basically what tells us how many women out of 100 in our city are engaging with our ads, which basically means, how many women in our city is our ad relevant to, which has a whole bunch of downstream like cascading effects. We want to get this number as high as possible. But kind of the seesaw level is basically like 6% where unique CTRL below 6%. Unique CTRL level below 6%, ad most likely is just going to kind of do worse and worse over time. Same ad spend, fewer sales, fewer buyers over time. Whereas if we can get it above 6%, we have much higher chance of our ad actually, same ad spend, more buyers over time, more sales, more revenue over time, higher ROAS. And so those 10 mistakes that I already fixed for these other ads, we're going to go through these here, kind of the same framework. And when boudoir photographers have been running their own ads for a long time, the ad's dying out, the ad's burning out, the ad's like kind of just doing worse and worse over time. So they're spending the same ad spend every day, but just getting worse and worse results kind of week after week. This is super common for boudoir photographers running their own ads, and they're feeling kind of desperate. They're checking Ads Manager, and they're like, oh man, again. Then they go refresh their picture, refresh their creative, maybe buy a new template. But even refreshing their picture, buying a new template, or finding some ads someone else is doing in the city or that someone else is doing good, kind of taking those. We're not solving the actual structural issues that are causing the ads to die out, burn out over time, because that's actually not a normal thing. It's a symptom of a deeper root cause problem, which nobody has addressed yet. Kind of the other scenario is if the same thing's happening, but the boudoir photographer is using a like an ads agency, so paying them a bunch of money every month to run their boudoir Facebook ads, then what's going to happen is they're actually going to be stressed. They're like, man, I'm paying these guys a ton of money every month, doing the same ad spend every month, but I'm getting worse and worse results every month. So why should I keep paying the big ad agency fee every month if it's literally just getting worse and worse results for me, over time, again and again and again. And also they realize, the ad agencies probably gave them their best ads up front, like first, to get them hooked. So their best ads are probably already sitting in the ad account being ran. So why not just keep running them? Boudoir photographers thinking, why not just keep running them myself? Stop paying these guys to give me worse and worse results over time because the ad's already in my ad account. So both these situations, the worse and worse results over time are, whether running the ads solo or with an agency, It's a symptom of a deeper root cause problem, which is this, kind of building off these 10 mistakes we're going to talk about today. So when ads have these 10 mistakes, and our ads go out to the first tranche or first group of women, tranche 1 women, we're getting some unique CTRL data, kind of how relevant is our ad, some link click-through rate data, conversion rate data. I'm going to all these tranche 1 women in our city. And that data is actually always fed back into the meta ad algorithm to tell the meta algorithm bias it towards who to go to for kind of tranche 2, like the second group of women. And when we're making these mistakes and we're getting low initial unique CTRL and low initial conversion data from tranche 1, that data goes back into the meta ad algorithm, and our ads actually go to lower quality meta profiles with a lower just kind of master conversion rate for tranche 2 women, which means we're literally getting, same ad spend, worse results kind of in tranche 2. But that feeds back into the meta ad algorithm again to decide who our ads go to for tranche 3. But the results are worse than tranche 1 to tranche 2. Now in our tranche 2 to tranche 3 results, and our ads go to even worse meta profiles with a even lower conversion rate for tranche 3. So it's just this, downward spiral of despair, all based off of the initial data and results from our ads going to the tranche 1 women, which again is caused by these 10 mistakes we're going to go over today. But the other thing that can happen, which is pretty rare, which is where we want to reach, is if we can fix all these mistakes and get good initial unique CTRL data, good initial conversion data, and if we can get all that feeds back into the meta ad algorithm going to decide on the tranche 2 women. And when that data is actually good, that initial data feeding back into the meta ad algorithm, then our ads actually go to higher quality meta profiles. It's basically like we unlock a higher tier meta profile. And these higher tier meta profiles, what do they got? They basically got like a higher, global or master or account level conversion rate. They're basically like premium placements where only the best ads go to these higher tier meta profiles. And the higher conversion rate, what does that result in for tranche 2? Same ad spend, better results in tranche 2, which feeds back in the meta ad algorithm again to decide who our ads go to for tranche 3. And we get even better meta profiles in tranche 3 based off our, much better data from our ads coming from tranche 2 women. So tranche 3 gives the same ad spend even better results. So our ads actually getting kind of better over time. Ad sustains and scales and we grow the business. This is called the upward spiral of awesomeness. Again, all based off of the tranche 1 data, which again, based off of solving all these kind of top 10 mistakes we're going to talk about today. So that's the only two ways Boudoir Facebook ads can go, either the downward spiral of despair or the upward spiral of awesomeness, and it's all based on the initial data from tranche 1 women. And all the initial data from tranche 1 women is creating ads with 0 out of these top 10 mistakes. So it's really about understanding what these 10 mistakes are. Kind of everything is downstream from that and fixing that. All right, so let's hop in. First mistake that we always look for is, does it look like an ad? So I'm looking at the creative. I'm just looking at the picture. It's basically, is there text on the picture, yes or no? That's 99% of the time I'm going to make it look like an ad. And the problem with that is when it looks like an ad, we actually have more women scrolling on by it, not coming up here to read, what we got going on. So we're going to have less women reading our ad copy, the rest of it clicking in, reading our full ad copy. which means we're having less women becoming pre-qualified. So we're getting fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments. We're getting more ghosting, more price hunters, more price objections, more tire kickers, all resulting in less sales, less conversions, less revenue, lower ROAS from tranche one women. And all that data feeds back into the meta ad algorithm. And our ads go to lower quality meta profiles for tranche two, which we know now is same ad spend, lower results. We've entered the downward spiral of despair based off our tranche one women data. And our ads just going to keep spiraling, spiraling, spiraling down the downward spiral of despair. Same ad spend, worse and worse and worse and worse results over time. And our ad's going to burn out, ad's going to dead out, and then we got to refresh creative, put a new picture, but that doesn't fix the structural mistakes, or buy a new template. That doesn't fix structural mistakes either. I've not seen any template yet that has less than 5 out of 10 mistakes. And or we're just kind of copying some other ad from our city or someone who's doing good. But even those, again, I still have not seen an ad that has less than 5 out of 10 mistakes from anyone, any boudoir photographer. So that's mistake one. Mistakes 2 through 5, so the next 4 mistakes can happen up here in the see more headline. That's where I've highlighted. And this is where literally 95% of ad spend is won or lost. And here's why. First of all, the see more headline, yeah, these first 2 3/4 lines on Facebook mobile newsfeed. This is the most important battleground for like getting relevancy, knowing who we're talking to. And it's this placement because this is where most impressions will be showing up for any ad campaign we do. We know that because if we go to our backend Facebook Ads Manager, we're in the top right of the columns, we click on Breakdown, drop-down menu, and we click on Placements, and then we go to our Impressions column, and we click it, once or twice to get it to impressions to be high to low. And then if we go on the bottom left, the Summary row, we click the Summary row arrow to open that menu upwards. Our impressions will be sorted from highest to lowest for each placement. Facebook mobile newsfeed will be number 1. And so that's the first part. The second part is, here looking what I've highlighted. As women are scrolling through their newsfeed, 100 out of 100 women will see this highlighted part, the see more headline, first 2 3/4 lines on mobile. Here it looks like we're only using like a line and a half kind of total. So we're really almost missing half our real estate. But 100 out of 100 women will see this see more headline. It actually shows on top of our creative. But for a good boudoir Facebook ad, the probability that a woman clicks ... see more, which is normally, here, ... see more, and then opens the rest of the ad copy, the probability that happens is, for a good boudoir Facebook ad, 5 out of 10. That's our unique CTRL metric, which is basically how many women click in the ... see more to open the rest of our ad copy. Good boudoir Facebook ad, 5 out of 100. Average, normal that I'm seeing 2 to 3%, so 2 to 3 out of 100. And the way I do these see more headlines, I can get, I showed 6 to 9%, 10%, maybe 8 to 10 out of 100 to click up, actually open, read consumer ad copy. And that's why up here, the see more headlines where literally 95 to 98% of ad spend is won or lost. Because this is really the only chance we got to hook someone. It's right here. Or at least for 95 out of 100 people, they're going to see this and they're just going to scroll on by. So it's like the only shot we got. So the first thing we need to have in the see more headline out of the 4 specific attributes is we want to have a who. Who are we speaking to? What's a self-label that we can put here where as they scroll on by, the women actually come back up, they say, hey, that's me. Let's see what else they're saying up here in the see more headline, these first 1 to 2 sentences. So what do we got here? We got frontline healthcare workers. Yeah, all right, we got a who here. We're talking to frontline healthcare workers. Good, so the women that are not that scroll by, perfect, because we're not talking to them. The women that, the women that are frontline healthcare workers are coming back up. They're going to say, hey, I'm going to read this next 1 to 2 sentences, see what they're talking about, see if it's relevant to me. And then higher chance they click ... see more, open the rest of our ad copy, consume our full ad copy, become pre-qualified, so we have more qualified leads, more qualified appointments, fewer tire kickers, fewer price hunters, fewer price objections, less ghosting. And all this results in increased sales, increased revenue, more bookings, higher ROAS, more conversions, all feeds back into the meta ad algorithm. And our ad actually goes to higher quality meta profiles for tranche 2. We've unlocked the premium placements. And for tranche 2, we get same ad spend, better results. And that feeds back into the meta ad algorithm again. We're in the upward spiral of awesomeness, which is where we want to be, because we're solving these mistakes. And we're getting same ad spend, better results over time. Our ad sustains and scales, scale the business. Now, the second thing we want to have in the See More headline is a neg, basically a negative experience. What are women in our city saying they want to get away from? So literally, they're saying in their head, it's kind of like they're on one side of the riverbank with some negative experience. They want to get away from that, not deal with that anymore, and hop across the river, get across the river somehow to the other river, the other side of the river, the other riverbank, where they don't have to deal with this negative experience. And we always lead with the negative experience. Here's why. It's because humans, we're programmed to basically, the probability of us taking an action to move away from a negative experience, aka away from a pain, simply get back to like normal / no pain / neutral / homeostasis state. That probability that we actually take an action to go from negative experience to neutral or pain to neutral is literally 100x larger than the same probability of us taking action to go from neutral / no pain / homeostasis to some gain, some positive, some pleasure, some like benefit state. Literally 100x difference, getting out of pain rather than and back to neutral compared to neutral to some pleasure or some gain. And we know that because, if we simply think of us going to the dentist, we go to the dentist, we get our 6-month teeth cleaning done. And we're at the front desk, we're paying the front desk ladies, and the front desk ladies are like, hey, are you free 33 Mondays from now at 8:15 a.m. for the next 6-month teeth cleaning? And we're like, dude, I literally have no idea, no idea at all. But hit me up closer to then, like text me, call me closer to then, I'll see what my calendar is, what my schedule is, so we can see what the heck we can fit in. And so they put us in their auto texter, auto text us month 3, month 4, month 5, but we ignore it. We're busy, we're running the business, momentum, like in the mental flow state. We like our schedule, so we don't plan anything. And month 6 comes and goes, and yeah, we don't go to the dentist. We don't put anything on our calendar. We don't, we don't actually show up. And why is that? Well, it's because the guaranteed positives, the guaranteed gains of going to the dentist, those were not large enough for us to take action. And the guaranteed gains were, guaranteed cleaner teeth and guaranteed peace of mind knowing we got no cavities, or, they've all been taken care of. So that peace of mind and cleaner teeth, those gains, those positives they're not enough for us to take an action. Actually change our schedule, put mental energy towards, you put mental energy towards putting the dentist on the calendar. So we continue living life normal, when we're in our normal neutral / no pain state, And we're not taking any actions to get a positive or a benefit. But we go to month 8, month 10, month 12. They still out of Texas, so we still ignore them. We're still on our same schedule, running our business. We are, focused, full schedule. Don't want to push anything back. Shooting clients, creating ads, talking to leads, and a month 12, and yeah, dude, we did not go to the dentist again. So we've missed 2 6-month teeth cleanings, 2 6-month checkups, and the guaranteed gains, the guaranteed positives of taking these actions, putting the dentist on the calendar, going to the dentist. Again, it's not enough gain, not enough guaranteed gain, guaranteed positive for us to do it. It's just not enough, And month 13 comes, going through month 13. Then at the end of month 13, we're eating breakfast one day, and we are having a bunch of pain on the right side of our mouth, on the right side, in the back, on the bottom. One of those molars back there. Pain with every bite of our breakfast. That was annoying. Like, dude, it's pretty painful. But we finish our breakfast. We go about the rest of the day, rest of the morning. And yeah, our tooth's still hurting, even though we ain't chewing anything. Our jaw and the bottom of the tooth, a little bit of pain as well. So it's hard for us to focus with what we're working on. And we actually get to lunch, and we decide we're going to eat the lunch on the left side of our mouth, because the right side's the one that's killing us. And we're chewing, but still our right side's hurting. Our teeth touch, that hurts. A little bit of pain in the jaw still. And then still, from muscle memory, a little bit of food goes over there, and that hurts even more. So now we're like, okay, probably not going to be able to focus this afternoon. Probably not going to be able to eat dinner. Probably not going to be able to sleep with this tooth pain. I'm like, man, this tooth's really killing me right now. I got to get this solved. So we call up our dentist. We're talking with them. And we're like, what do you mean you can't get me in 7 a.m. tomorrow morning? Dude, my tooth is killing here. My tooth is killing me. I can't focus. I can't even live. Like, I got to get in tomorrow. And so they say, yeah, dude, we're booked 2 weeks, but we can put you on the cancellation list. That's the best we can do. And so we hang up with them, like, we got to get this solved. This is no way in 2 weeks. No way, dude. Can barely live today. So we then call up every other single dentist in our city, literally every other single one, saying, can you get me in tomorrow morning? Can you get me in tomorrow morning? Can you get me in tomorrow morning? Finally, we find one dentist that says, yes, we'll get you in tomorrow morning. So we book with them. We barely sleep at all. We roll in 7 a.m. They do the x-ray on our teeth. They find, oh yeah, dude, the bottom right side in the back, big cavity. So they clean out the cavity. They fill it with, the liquid gel. They and they harden it with the UV pen. And then we got the bite paper. We're biting down, making sure our tooth's not too tall or whatever, or too short. And they clean the rest of our teeth, normal 6-month cleaning, checkup stuff. And we leave, and we're biting the air. We're testing it out. Cool, no pain, even when we're biting our teeth together lightly. And then we eat breakfast. Eat it on the right side of our mouth. Cool, no tooth pain, no jaw pain. And we're like, yes, dude, finally back to normal. No pain. I can finally live and focus my life now and get other things done. So in this dentist scenario, we actually got 2 different scenarios. The first one, for literally 13 months, 400 days, we're in our normal, neutral, no pain, homeostasis state. Our teeth were fine. And for 13 months, that's 400 days, we did nothing. We didn't take any action to put the dentist on the calendar. Always blew them off, ignored all their texts, ignored their call. And, just the gain was not enough for us to take an action, to get some gain, some incremental benefit, some positive. But dude, literally one day with pain, and we're taking massive action to talk to our dentist, get them on the calendar, massive action, talk to every other dentist in the city, get them on the calendar. And we get them on the calendar, we show up, we get our tooth pain solved. And so one day in pain, we take massive action to get just back to a normal, neutral homeostasis state. But dude, 400 days, no pain, just neutral, and we don't even take an action to get a guaranteed gain. So this is why we always lead with the negative experience. Because this is what humans react to. I said 100x more than they would move into a positive. But in the dentist scenario, it's literally 400x more that pain causes us to move compared to the positive. So this is why we always lead with the negative experience, aka a pain, because humans will naturally just take massive action, way more. All right, so let's see. What others are for? All right, just probably see more headline. Nope, we're missing the negative. What negative experience are our healthcare workers going through that they want to get away from? And that they're saying to themselves in their brain, so we can match them with what we write in the ad copy. And yeah, we test all these, kind of all this stuff I'm talking about, and the data tells us actually where to go. And so we're missing negative. So yeah, frontline healthcare workers, we're going to be missing some. At least scrolling by because there's nothing else kind of relevant up here for them to stop and say, hey, that's me. More than frontline healthcare workers. We only matched them with one specific attribute so far. So we have more women scrolling by, fewer women clicking ... see more to open our full ad copy, fewer women reading our full ad copy, therefore fewer women becoming fully pre-qualified. So we have fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments, more ghosting, more price hunters, more tire kickers, more price objections. And this, making this mistake results in fewer conversions, fewer sales, fewer bookings, lower revenue, lower ROAS with tranche 1 women. And all this data feeds back into the meta ad algorithm to decide where our ads go for tranche 2. And our ads actually go to lower quality meta profiles for tranche 2, which we know now they're simply going to have a lower conversion rate, convert at a lower rate, which means same ad spend, worse results. And that's going to feed on itself. We're in the downward spiral of despair. Tranche 3, 4, 5, 6, we're going to lower and lower quality, aka lower and lower converting meta profiles. Downward spiral of despair, ads burning out, ads dying out, refresh creative. All right, the third thing we need in the See More headline is a positive. If we had a negative, they want to get away from this negative on this riverbank, get over to this other riverbank where there's just the negative's not there. But we want a positive to say, hey, you can get away from this negative by coming over to this other riverbank. But we also got this second other thing you also want. So let's kind of give them a 2-for-1 whammy. So positive. Yeah, we're actually, let's see. Basically kind of the outcome of them using our solution, which, I haven't read the rest of this ad, it might be actually further down, but we got to have it up here up top because this is where 100 out of 100 women will see it instead of, at best, for people doing their own ads, 5 out of 100. Clicking the ... see more, opening the ad copy and seeing it down below. So we're missing the positive. So we're missing the negative positive tension that gives really good specificity, which is what massively helps the meta ad algorithm, or basically gives us much better results in the meta ad algorithm. So we're missing the positive, so we're gonna have more frontline healthcare workers scrolling on by. We're not calling into them. We only got one specific attribute. So we're actually gonna be missing a ton of frontline healthcare workers. Not getting them to scroll back up to read and consume what we got. And because of that, Can have fewer women clicking ... see more, fewer women opening the full ad copy, fewer women consuming the full ad copy, fewer women actually becoming pre-qualified. So we're going to have fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments, more price hunters, more tire kickers, more ghosting, and all that is going to result in less bookings, less sales, less revenue, less conversions, lower ROAS from tranche 1 women. All that feeds back into the meta ad algorithm, and our ad actually for tranche 2, we got a lower quality meta profiles for tranche 2 because they're making these mistakes, which results in same ad spend, lower results, over time, and just going to keep feeding on itself, downward spiral of despair, all based off of the tranche 1 data, which is all based off of the amount of mistakes we make or don't make in our ad. And our ad burns out, our ad dies out, we got to refresh our creative, or buy some other template or copy someone else's ad, but the same structural kind of mistakes will remain. All right, the fourth and final thing we want to have in the See More headline is a hesitation slash, like a hesitation or a roadblock. So if we got our river, we got riverbank 1, they want to get away from this negative thing and hop over to riverbank 2. And we also got this different other positive thing, not related to the negative experience they want to get away from. Then the hesitation or roadblock is basically like a reason they're not taking one of the 12 bridges, going over. Maybe ours is one of the 12 bridges. Maybe they don't like walking. Or maybe the reason they're not taking any of the 3 boats across, or any of the 1 helicopters. Maybe they don't like engines, or maybe they don't like flying. So with these hesitations or roadblocks, women are saying in their brain, for the reason they're not using, our solution or a competitor solution or a competitor boudoir photographer. Maybe it's something they in the offering they don't want to do, don't want to have to deal with, or it's something they're incorrectly assuming they will have to do, they will have to deal with, they will have to be, they will have to know. So all these are options. And yeah, we test all this stuff, the data tells us where the heck to go. So we're missing the hesitation slash roadblock. This is a really special one. I like seeing when people get this one. So we're missing that, so we're being less specific. Less women are, basically feeling like we're speaking specifically to them. So we're going to have fewer women clicking ... see more, fewer women opening our full ad copy, fewer women consuming our full ad copy, which means fewer women getting pre-qualified. So we're having fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments, more price hunters, more price objections, more ghosting, more tire kickers, more women we got to like pull over the finish line. And we're having less sales, less revenue, less conversions, lower ROAS from tranche 1 women. All this data is feeding back into the meta ad algorithm, and our goes to lower quality meta profiles over time, which results in same ad spend, lower results. Now we've entered the downward spiral of despair, kind of just low results feeding off of itself over time. Our ads burning out, ads dying out, refresh creative. And that's it for these first 5 mistakes. Now we move on to the next 3. Next 3 happen in the ad body copy. And I haven't read it yet, so I don't know what we got here yet. And just thinking of some newsfeed psychology stuff here. Once we, capture someone's attention, basically when women are scrolling Facebook newsfeed or any, social media feed, actually same for everyone as well. Everyone's in like fast brain mode. Fast, give me the next cool piece of content. Looking to be entertained. With the See More headline with how specific we're getting, and if it catches their attention, if it's relevant to them, and they come back up to read the first, 1 to 2 sentences here in our See More headline that I've got highlighted, then their brain goes from fast to like slow. It's kind of jars them. They're kind of like running into a wall. And then they click the ... see more, and dude, they open and they get this massive wall of text. All right, this is actually when they run into the wall, and their brain goes from like slow brain to slowest brain, and we really slowed them down, and it's really jarring. And the brain actually doesn't want to read this. Like, oh my God, dude, I just did 2 sentences. Now you want me to read 18 more sentences? And this all happened automatically. So we actually got to give them a kind of a hook too, right at the top of our ad copy. Right after the Seymour headline, a hook to kind of a reason why they should listen to us. We always want to use an authority hook here, a reason why they should listen to us. So we can think of the Seymour headline here as basically a hook 1, a click ... see more, and we need to put like a hook 2 right here, a reason they should keep reading, which is actually what I did at the beginning of this video, showing, yeah, I've taken Boudoir Facebook ads, fixed them up, gotten 2 to 4x more women to come through, read the ad copy, become pre-qualified, and the women are actually way more specific, so they're more, kind of makes them double more qualified. And so let's see here what we got. Nope, we're missing. All right, so we're missing the authority hook. So even though women click ... see more, we're gonna have very few women actually feel like they should keep reading the ad copy, read the full thing. So we're gonna have very few women actually finishing reading the ad copy, down to the bottom. So fewer women becoming pre-qualified because they're making this mistake. So I have fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments. More price hunters, more price objections, more tire kickers, more ghosting. Women stop responding to us. And we are having basically less revenue, less sales, less conversions, less bookings, lower ROAS from tranche 1 women. All that feeds back into the meta ad algorithm. Our ads go to lower quality meta profiles for tranche 2, which is globally at their account level a lower conversion rate, which results in same ad spend, lower results for tranche 2. We've entered the downward spiral of despair where everything's just going to keep being worse and worse and worse, going down lower and lower and lower. And our ads burn out, ads die now. We got to refresh our creatives, copy some other templates. But again, everyone, everything I've seen still is at least 5.5 out of 10 of these structural issues. Even the best ads that I've seen, 5.5 out of 10 of these top 10 most common mistakes. All right, the next thing we need to have in our ad body copy, second out of 3 things, is a story/narrative. This is a super important one. Got to have it somewhere here in the middle. I call this the punch 2, and I call up here the Seymour headline our punch 1. So our punch 1 is really to be like super specific, meet our women in their brain with what they're actually thinking and saying to themselves, even if it's all unconsciously. Once they read it, it'll surface in their conscious, and it matches what their unconscious kind of they've been wanting. This is our punch 1. This is where we get super specific, and yeah, their 4 specific attributes will literally be more specific than not only every other boudoir photographer in our city, but literally any other ad service provider that women in our city see, literally of all time, unless someone else in our city is already working with me. But dude, we can actually blow everyone else away with our specificity. So that's punch 1. And when we nail that, like, they have to click ... see more and have to read our ad copy because nobody's ever been that specific to them. So that's the punch 1. The punch 2, though, down here in the body copy, somewhere down here, that's where we're actually like illustrating the movie scene. It's like we have a third-person camera following the women in our city around. We're writing the lines, writing the movie script of what's happening, what we're seeing in the movie scene. And also we include kind of like the reality TV cutscene where they're facing the camera, explaining what they were thinking, what they're feeling. We're writing all that stuff down too. This is what we're empathizing. This is what we're saying. I see you, I hear you, I feel you. I know what you're going through. and I'm describing it, so you can obviously see that, yes, I do know it. And this is kind of our second punch where we get super specific with, that we're basically exactly for them, which leads to basically super consideration, basically awareness or relevance with our specificity leads to consideration. And we're trying to get super consideration here, which leads to purchase. And so doing this movie scene, like kind of punch one, punch two, these actually do two things. Number one is it gets us super specific. It's only kind of 5% the reason that we want to get punch one, punch two correct. And it's actually a function of how the meta ad algorithm works. After women in our city engage with either our Boudoir Facebook ad or any other Boudoir photographer's Facebook ad for the next 24 hours, what happens is they're actually going to see literally like 20 Boudoir Facebook ads on Facebook and Instagram from literally all of our competitors. And 5% we got to get specific is because, dude, half those ads are just going to be broad messaging, nowhere near our specificity. The other half will be just copying everyone else's templates, and they all look the same. So 5% we got to get specific because it makes us look different and unique, so we're remembered. But 95% we actually got to get correctly specific because being correctly specific turns us into a literally market of one. And we're literally seen as the only option for them because no one's ever spoken to them like we will be. And as a result, kind of think of back to the dentist story. If all the dentists in our city only did 6-month checkups, but there's one dentist that fixed tooth pain or like toothaches, man, we're gonna sign up ASAP with that one person, probably paid 10x more, because they literally would have been the only option for us, to get out of our pain back to our normal neutral state. So that's why we got to be seen as literally the market of one, literally the only option. There's a way faster sales cycle, and we can they're willing to pay much higher prices. And going back to the like the story / narrative, basically also what I did back at the beginning of this video talking about, Boudoir photographers running ads on their own, ads burning out, ads dying out, they're feeling desperate, looking at their ad account, trying to just refresh stuff, but it still keeps happening, maybe copy someone else's, buy some more templates, or if they're using a agency, frustrated, paying a ton of money to them every month, and the same ad spending and worse and worse results. They probably got their best ads up front anyways, so why not just fire them and keep running their best ads since they're not really producing good results anymore. And so that's kind of, illustrating, that's the story / narrative, illustrating, like describing the movie scene as it's going on. So what do we got here? Dun, dun, dun. Oh, here we go. As a healthcare worker, you always put others before yourself, working hard to make sure they're taken care of. You're absolutely amazing. Okay, I would say this is story / narrative. Okay, all right, yeah, we'll give you story / narrative here. That's good, some relevance, some illustrating the movie scene. They're putting others before themselves. Working hard to make sure they're taken care of, yeah. Okay, we'll give you that. So we're gonna have more women feeling like we're speaking specifically to them, that we understand their situation, that we understand what the heck's going on. So more women feeling like they should read the full ad copy, become pre-qualified. So we're actually going to have more qualified leads, more qualified appointments, which means fewer tire kickers, fewer price hunters, fewer price objections, less, basically less ghosting, And all that's going to result in more sales, more conversions, more revenue, more bookings, higher ROAS from tranche 1 women. And all that feeds back into the meta ad algorithm. And our ad actually goes to higher quality meta profiles for tranche 2, which is exactly what we want. We've basically unlocked premium placements where only the best ads, or good, better, best ads get shown. And as a result, for tranche 2, we spend the same on ads per day, but we get better results. Feeding back into the meta ad algorithm, we get to better meta profiles for tranche 3, and we're fully into the upward spiral of awesomeness. Ad sustains and scales, scale the business. All right, the third and final thing we want in the body copy. This is potential mistake 8, but we want our full offer here. We want our full offer because the purpose of our ad is to provide all the correct context to the correct woman to then give her to expose as many of those women to the offer as possible. But without context, it means nothing, because if there's more than one competitor in the market, this is something interesting. If there's more than one competitor in the market, we literally have to tell women that our solution is specifically for them and their situation. Whereas if we were the only ones, if 1950s we're the only store in town that sells TVs, we could put out an ad that says, want TVs? We have TVs. But literally when there's more than one player in the market, we have to actually get specific. And the more players are in the market, the more specific we got to get, because the higher the market sophistication level is. So we need our offer so we can call in the right people, repel the wrong people. Let's see. Self-love and relaxation, those are positives. See more headline. Look at this, feel the love and appreciation. Positive, see more headline. We got to bring these up top. Okay, so offer. Looks like here we got full offer here. So let's see what we got. Okay, Vegas is healthcare heroes. Hey, that's well, we should keep the who the same all the way through. The top we say frontline healthcare workers. We need to keep it the same all the way through. We're just going to be incongruent. And I'll talk about that next mistake. Mistake number 9, incongruence. Okay, $3.95 off session fee. 50% off healthcare. Okay. Wardrobe styling guide. It's cool. 3 hours, perfect. A lot of people miss the time, but you got it. So we're posing to. Hey, nice. This could be a hesitation / roadblock. Then maybe someone's assuming before they even talk to us they need to know how to pose, but they're incorrectly assuming that, so we got to address that up here, up top in the See More headline. Image ordering appointment, professional makeup and hairstyling. Full luxury portrait session at Trujillo. Cool. Or more now. Okay, great. Yeah, we got our full offer here. That's gonna, even though a bunch of women click the ... see more, maybe 95 out of 100, what we just said here in the offer is not for them. That's important. They scroll by, that's insanely important. We'll go back into that a little bit more in mistake number 9, why would you not want unqualified people clicking through. But we're gonna have the correct 5% people clicking through, nice. Some more women become pre-qualified, so have more pre-qualified leads, more pre-qualified appointments, which means less booking, less ghosting. We're going to have fewer tire kickers, fewer price hunters, fewer price objections. We're going to have more, basically more sales, more bookings, more revenue, more conversions, higher ROAS from tranche 1 women. All feeds back into the meta ad algorithm. Ad goes to higher quality meta profiles for tranche 2. And we're in the upward spiral of awesomeness. Same ad spend, better results than tranche 3. Well, same ad spend, better results for tranche 2. That data and results feeds back into the meta ad algorithm for tranche 3. Same ad spend, better results. Our ad sustaining and scaling, doing better over time. We're scaling the business. Boom, that's all we got to do. Get our get our first ad to work, then we can move on to the second one. So the final two mistakes can happen here at the bottom of the, below the creative. Mistake number 9 is having anything, any below creative headline, any description, any button, basically any text, any button below the creative is always, always, always a mistake. Here's why. Actually, 3 reasons why. First one, 5% of the reason for mistake number 9 is this. Below the ad creative, if we got text or a button, ties into mistake number 1, makes it look more like an ad, which is gonna, ad blindness, banner blindness, people don't want to be sold to, ties into mistake number 1. Simply gonna be, scrolling on by, keep scrolling on by. And reason number 2 for mistake number 9 is 15% of the reason for mistake number 9 is when women are scrolling fast, basically their subconscious kind of registers, basically they see that I highlighted, then they get here. By the time they're looking here, their subconscious is actually processed and surfaced maybe like a quarter to a third of these words up here, frontline healthcare workers, and the first line healthcare worker in the second line. But if their eyes are then viewing this, here in the bottom left, and it's not the same words, not the exact same words, it's going to trigger the error detection network automatically. This all happens, automatically, not consciously thinking about it, and triggering the error detection networks signals error, incongruent, confusion, keep scrolling. Well, we don't want them to keep scrolling down. We want them to scroll back up and read what we got highlighted up here, see more headline. So that's reason 2. And dude, even if this text was the same from the bottom and the top, it still makes it look more like an ad, tying into mistake number 1. So it's always, always, always a mistake to have any text below the creative. Now, reason number 3 for mistake number 9, this is actually 80% of the reason for mistake number 9, the biggest one, is this. Text and buttons below our creative enables or allows women that are viewing our ad to click through to the next page before being forced to click ... see more to open our ad copy, and then fully read through our entire ad copy, and then clicking, after becoming or reading our full ad copy and becoming pre-qualified to then go over. This is a massive, massive, massive mistake. Here's why. When the meta ad algorithm is deciding who to go to next, basically the next, kind of the next tranche of women to go to, it's pulling from a few different data pools. Pool 1 are the ad converters. So these are the profiles that have converted on the ad. It basically sucks off, the million plus data points, data attributes on each meta profile from everyone who's converted. And it is finding these similarities between all these data points. What do these profiles have in common, similar, so we can go find more people like that, And then they look to the next meta profiles they could go to and say, all right, we got, okay, this one's 92% similar to the converters, 86%, 76%, whatever. And so we're biasing the meta ad algorithm towards profiles that have more of these similar characteristics. So that's pool 1. The problem is with pool 2. So pool 1 is ad converters. Pool 2 is ad clickers. And the problem with pool 2 is, dude, it's literally 10 to 50 times larger than pool 1. And if nearly all women are coming through here by not reading, they barely read anything up top here. They don't click to read they don't even click to open our ad body copy. They just, maybe they see the photo, they think it's a lingerie set or something, lingerie store. They click see more, and guess what? It's not what they expected, so they click off. But their data, their million plus data points on their meta profile just got shaken out into pool 2 and recorded for the ad clickers pool. And most women will just be, if they got the option, will just be clicking here, because it's, well, for anyone, we don't want to do work on social media. then it's a lot of work to read through this, but it's what we want them to be forced to do to go to our next ad page. So pool 2 is actually being basically poisoned by all these non-qualified meta profiles clicking on our ad, which is dumping all these non-qualified data points, data attributes, profile attributes into tranche 2, or pool 2, which means Meta is finding all the similarities in pool 2 between unqualified meta profiles, and it's using that to bias the meta ad algorithm to go to find more similar profiles that are 92% data points as these unqualified profiles, 93% same data points as these unqualified profiles, 86%. But these such high percentages similar to the unqualified profiles, the similarities, that means these new profiles we go to are going to be unqualified as well. So we're basically kind of poisoning the well, poisoning our own data sources of telling where the meta ad algorithm to go. So those are 3 reasons for mistake number 9, having anything below the ad creative, below creative headline, description, button, all an issue. Next, mistake number 10, final mistake. I do not know if we're making this mistake here, but it's in a mistake on the objective we choose, the ad objective. So we'll give half a mistake for this one. We actually don't know if we're making this mistake. But leads objective is the most common objective I'm seeing boudoir photographers use. And leads objective is always, always, always a mistake. Here's why. When we choose our ad objective, we're actually telling Meta, hey, we're targeting this entire city, but since we chose this objective, go and get a 6% slice of our entire city we're targeting, and only show our ads to that 6% slice. And with leads objective, we're telling them, hey, only show our ads to the 6% slice of our city that has the 95th percentile or highest probability to fill out a lead form, and some weighting also to basically respond to some keywords here in this ad, like specific keywords that have been attached to the meta profiles by basically by what ads they've clicked on before, kind of what keywords those ads had in them, and what they've searched before on Meta, Instagram, and Google. Because yes, they all talk, they all share data. And also kind of listen to everyone's conversations that our phone's near, even if we're not on a phone call, if we don't have the Meta and Instagram app or Facebook Instagram app open. All the words we're saying are always basically being pulled down, pasted on our Meta profile to be used to serve us more relevant ads. And so we're telling Meta, hey, go to the lead form filler outers. Now the problem with that is we're optimizing for people that fill out lead forms, not the 6% slice of profiles that fill out lead forms and answer our calls, texts, or emails, and not the lead form filler outers who also book a call, show up to a call. And we're definitely not optimizing for our ad to go to the lead form filler outers who buy. We're just optimizing for people that fill out lead forms. And yes, there will be a small dusting that they fill out lead forms, and they also answer our calls, texts, and emails. There'll be a smaller dusting still that yes, they fill out the lead form, and yes, they book a call, show up to a call. And there'll be even the tiniest dusting still that yes, they fill the lead form, and then they buy. But we want buyers. That's why we're paying ads to get buyers. And if our ads are going to lead form filler outers, that means their dominant behavior is filling out lead forms. But one of the other 6 dominant behaviors is being a buyer. So basically we're choosing our ads to go to the meta profiles that do not have where their dominant behavior on the profile is not buying or not being a buyer, which means we're just kind of ads are going to non-buyers. We're increasing our email list with non-buyers. And yeah, dude, we're getting $1 leads, $1.50, $2 leads. But guess what? Nobody answers the emails. Nobody responds. Nobody picks up the phone. We got one price hunter. They ghosted after they heard the price. And this really screws up all the steps of our business after we get the lead, because we're wondering, man, are my emails off? Am I saying the wrong stuff? Are my texts off? Did I call them too late? Did I call them too early? Did I call them not enough times? Did I call them too much and annoyed them? You know, and the problem is, even if we have all those things perfect, the emails, text, calls, or maybe we're wondering if our offer's off. If we have all four on point, people on our email list still ain't gonna buy because they're non-buyers. Because the leads we came in off the lead forms have non-buyer, literally non-buyer as their dominant meta profile attribute, when we actually want to go in front of buyers, which is a different objective. So let's say we're getting, dollar leads using the leads objective, get 100 leads. Remember, the tiniest dusting will be those who actually fill out the lead form and buy. So maybe a 1 out of 100 that buy. So $100 CAC, customer acquisition cost, again, $100 CPA. But maybe if we used a buyer objective, it'd be, who knows, $15 per lead, so literally 15x the cost per lead. But we sell 1 out of every 3 leads. So it's $45 to get 1 sale. So we basically doubled the efficiency of our ad spend. We doubled our ROAS. So lead cost literally doesn't matter. It's a vanity metric that kind of screws over most boudoir photographers. Lead cost literally matters 0. It's all about CAC, customer acquisition cost, which primarily, honestly, comes from our ads going in front of buyers. Honestly, that's the biggest weighting for lowering customer acquisition cost. Basically, increasing ROAS, increasing efficiency of the same ad spend. More results, same ad spend, more results. So that's why leads objective is a mistake, and I don't know if we're making this mistake here. So we'll give half a mistake. All right, now we'll score this ad out of 10. See how many 10 mistakes, the 10 most common boudoir photographer Facebook ad mistakes we're making compared to the rest of the boudoir industry, and see what we got going on. So does it look like an ad? Yes. Mistake number 1. We got a who, nice. Missing a negative, missing a positive, missing a hesitation / roadblock. Missing an authority hook. We got the story / narrative, nice. Got our full off. Got our full offer as well. We got a below creative headline and button. That's always a mistake. And our objective, half mistake. All right, so we're at 7.5 out of 10 mistakes. And the average in the boudoir industry is 8 out of 10 mistakes. So actually, we're doing better than average here. So that's good. That's good to see, better than average. Then the average, which is 8 out of 10 mistakes of the, kind of the most common mistakes. Now, any boudoir Facebook ad that I see that has more than 2 out of 10 mistakes, I already know it's, going down the downward spiral of despair, burning out, performing worse and worse over time. Now, if we got a car that's performing worse and worse over time, we say that's a breaking down car. The car's breaking down. And where do we bring a car that's breaking down? Bring it to a car mechanic. And similarly, if our boudoir Facebook ad's doing worse and worse over time, performing worse and worse over time, our boudoir Facebook ad's breaking down as well. So where do we bring a breaking down boudoir Facebook ad? We bring it to a boudoir Facebook ad mechanic. So if your boudoir Facebook ads are, having these mistakes we talked about today, and your ads are burning out, performing worse and worse over time, getting worse and worse clients, fewer qualified clients over time, same ad spend, worse results, lower ROAS, and you want to get better ads, more clients, same ad spend, scale the business without having to spend years learning this, waiting like weeks to get this stuff fixed, you want results literally in 24 hours, then I do have a Boudoir Facebook ad mechanic offer for y'all today. And we kind of got two options. The first one is a pay per root cause problem fixed option for one ad, where I take those 10 mistakes, squish them down into 5 mistakes, and then charge. Or take those 10 mistakes, squish them down into 5 root cause problems, and then charge per root cause problem I solve on one ad. And yeah, you can take the fixes and put them on all your other ads as well. So we can give a 30 seconds here to give a quick quote on that. So does it look like an ad? Yep. Root cause problem number 1. See more headline. We need 4 out of 4 specific attributes. Go out 1 out of 4 specific. That's root cause problem number 2. Ad copy. We need 3 out of 3 sections. We got 2 out of 3 sections. Nice. Most people don't even hit 2 out of 3. So, but we don't have 3 out of 3. So that is root cause problem number 3. Below creative headline and button, we got to get rid of these. It's making it look too much like an ad, calling in too many unqualified women, poisoning our data pool too. So that's root cause problem number 4. Then objective. I don't know if we're using the right or wrong objective, so we'll give half a root cause problem for that. So we have 4.5 out of the 5 root cause problems, and I charge $50 per root cause problem I solve. You can choose one up to like 4.5 of them, the maximum. If you do choose the maximum, it'd be 4.5 times 50, so it's at $225. And then yeah, you can take the fixes, put them on all your other ads as well. Or duplicate all your ads, test, keep the original ad running, test it compared to my duplicate, see which one gives better results, shut off the worst one. So that's option 1. Option 2 is a much, much, much better value where I'll fix all the mistakes you want me to in all the Boudoir Facebook ads and create as many new ads from scratch as you want, all for $100 a month. Month to month, no contracts, cancel anytime. And you can work with me, you can collab with me as little or as much as you want. And both these options, 1 and option 2, these are done for you, so I'll be doing all the work for you. And you've got my phone number, you've got my email, and whatever social platform we're on. You've got, you can DM me on there. So when you decide which option you want to do, hit me up, and I'll ask you what you got for me, and then we'll go from there. All right, that's everything. Adios.